When are you coming to make up your stuff, Abby? You got 2 weeks left. When you want to come?
I can't do 6 next week, so that'd be...
Alright, so we're going to do 6 through 10. 6 through 10. 6 through 10. Are y'all ready? Most of them, yes. If they weren't graded before I was out yesterday, we'll look at them in a minute. Alright, ready? Make your piece up. Alright, whether you're ready or not, timer's going up. 6 through 10. Alright, so let's look at page 10. You're going to need a calculator, so if you don't have a graph and calculator, please go get one real quick. We do not have a lot to do today, guys, okay? Not at all. Okay, but the longer we take on this, the less time you'll have for your other stuff, okay? On the board, what's it, page 10? Is that right? I think it's 10. Yeah, 10. All right, you got your calculators? All right. Here we go. In order to graph, ready to let me know? In order to graph, you have to remember what you did yesterday and what we worked on Monday, okay? So you have horizontal asymptotes, you have vertical asymptotes, and you have holes, okay? So let's factor this first. How does this factor on the bottom?
X minus 4x plus 2.
Very good. Okay. So we know that we have the easy one is the vertical asymptote, right? So we have a vertical asymptote where the bottom equals 0. So where would the bottom equal 0 here? Positive 4 and negative 3. Very good. So if you've got like a different color or a highlighter, I'm going to use a highlighter because it works easier for me. That way we can see where they show up, okay? If not, it's really hard to make them show up with your pencil. You're going to have to be real dark. So how do we do a vertical asymptote? How do we write that on our graph? Ooh, remember what was an asymptote? Remember we talked about this on Monday? It's what kind of a line? Yeah, invisible line. How do we denote an invisible line? You leave a space. So what are those lines called? Dotted lines. Very good. So we have at 4. 1, 2. X is 4, right? So we go to the x-axis at 4. We're going to draw our dotted line there. And then we go at x is negative 3. So we go on the x-axis at negative 3. So it's the same stuff we've been doing. We're just actually graphing it now, okay?
So we should like go
That way when you go to graph it, you know where it can't pass, okay? Okay, what about horizontal? Well, remember there were 3 things about a horizontal. So if you need to flip back over, okay? I think it was page 8 or page 9. All right, the bottom has the biggest degree. The bottom has the biggest exponent. So it's what? Y equals 0, right? Okay, so y equals 0 is the same as what? Look back on your notes. You should have written it down. The what? Madison, was that you saying that? No? Carnisha, was that you saying that then? The x-axis, Carnisha. Very good. Because y equals is a horizontal line. And if it doesn't go anywhere, if it's at 0, the horizontal line at 0 is the x-axis. Very good. All right, so now that we've got all that drawn, now grab your handy-dandy calculator. All right, where do we go first? Y equals, and you've got to be careful about how you plug this in, okay? So you do 3 divided by. Now, in order to make sure that we plug this in correctly, it's easier if you plug in the x squared minus x minus 12 instead of the x minus 4, x plus 3. It's not wrong if you plug this one in. It's just easier to make sure we don't make a mistake. So open your parentheses, and it's x squared minus x minus 12, close your parentheses, okay? Then we hit graph. Hold on. Little funky vibe, right? Okay, look right here. You see how there's an invisible line right here that it runs down? What number is that? Oh my gosh, maybe that's why we put that there. You see how there's an invisible line that it looks like it runs down right here? Where is that at? Positive 4. Are y'all okay? All right, what about horizontally? Look right here. Do you see how it doesn't go below or above the y equals 0? Okay, does that make sense about why we do that now first? Okay, now, these are kind of just like, you kind of just make a pretty picture, but make sure you go to your table, make sure you don't have any whole numbers that we can graph, or numbers. Let's see, we can graph -2, -0.5, right? So we go -2, -0.5 is about right there, just to kind of give us some good little points. What else do you see? 3, -0.5. So we know they go right here. So we know that graph, right? It went like this and then straight down. Isn't that what it did? We went to our table. Right here at our table. -2 and 0.5. That's a pretty good decimal I can graph, right? And then the other 0.5 was at 3 and -0.5. So I just graphed those right there to kind of see where it started curving back down, okay? Because remember when you look at your graph, see this right here? About right there at those points is where it starts to curve back down. And look, we've got a whole bunch of other ones sitting that we could graph if we wanted to, but we want to do easy stuff, okay? Oh my gosh, why is there an error at -3? Because it's an asymptote. Why is there an error at 4? Because it's an asymptote, right? Okay, do we have any other points that are good to graph? Those all look like craziness, decimals. Okay, so let's just look at our graph. So the one on the right, how do I graph the one on the right? Just slightly right of 4, okay. And then what's it do? Curves before it hits the x-axis. Very good, very good, very good. We're copying this graph right here, baby, on our calculator. That's all we're doing. Right there. All right, what's the other side do? Same thing but backwards. So it rides right there along -3. Once it gets down to the bottom, it curves down, but it never goes below the x-axis. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go to number 2. Okay, before we do anything on number 2, here we go. So let's talk about how to factor that. How does that factor on the top? +2 or -2, or in +3 or -3? Which one? +3 you said, and -2, is that what you said? Okay. Or you could have -2 and +3. It doesn't matter the order, as long as the 3 is positive and the 2 is negative. All right, what about the bottom? Pull out a 3, very good. Ooh, I can keep going. Very good. On the bottom, x squared minus 4 factors as x plus 2 and x minus 2. OMG. What happened? They cancel. Ooh, if they cancel, what is that? That's a hole. Very good. Very good. So there's a hole at, now if I were to set, you got it? Oh, sweet. Okay, good. Y'all got this. Look. I was hoping I didn't leave y'all too behind yesterday, but it looks like that video did y'all pretty good, right? Okay. All right, so then let's see. We have the vertical's easy. Vertical is where the bottom equals 0. So the only thing left on the bottom is 3, which can't ever be 0, and x plus 2. So where would my vertical asymptote be there? -2. There you go. So let's go ahead and draw that. Find x is -2, and let's do a vertical asymptote. Alrighty, so the horizontal one is the one where you've got to remember all of those rules. Okay, so let's look up at the beginning. At the beginning, they had the same degrees. They had the same exponents. So what do we do to find? Divide the leading coefficient. So the leading coefficient here is 1. The leading coefficient here is 3. Divide them and you get 1. How much? 1 over 3, 1/3. Very good. So that's just a teeny bit above the x-axis, right? So we go right here, and it's going to be hard for me to do with my highlighter, but it's just like right above the x-axis, okay? So if you want to, you can label this as y equals 1/3, and this is x equals -2 if you want to do that, okay? Okay, what about this hole, okay? When you dig a hole in the ground, have you ever built a fence before, or ever seen somebody that built a fence before? And you dig in some holes for some, y'all so sheltered, good grief. Okay, so, and you're digging some holes for the post to go in, right? What's a hole look like?
It's empty.
It's empty. What else? It's big, it's round, right? And it's empty, right? Okay, so at x equals 2, there's going to be a big, round nothingness, right? Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, so in our case, it doesn't really affect us much. She just draw big, fat, open nothingness at x equals 2, okay? Okay, so let's go to our graph. You ready? So the easiest one to plug in would either be, you can just go back straight to the beginning if you want to, or to me the easiest one to plug in is what I have left right here. I have x plus 3 left, divided by parentheses, you got to do parentheses, 3, and then open another parentheses, x plus 2, close on both. Am I hearing things, or do I hear a buzzing constantly going on? Yeah. If that is your phone, please turn it on, off of vibrate. Okay. All right, hit graph. All right, let's see. There you go. You see it riding right there on the right above the x-axis, and it goes down. Okay, let's look at it. You ready? See how it has like a, it looks like a straight line that goes down right here? And that's at -2, just like we have. Are y'all okay? All right, let's go to our table and let's see if we have anything that we can graph. Where? -3, 0. Yep. Which that's okay, right? Because remember my asymptote wasn't at 0, it was at 1/3, which is right above it. 0 and 0.5, that's just right above the asymptote. Anything else? I got 3. Oh, that's a 0.4, never mind. Is that all the good ones? Looks like all the good ones. Okay, hit graph again. So here we go. It's going to ride right along that x-axis, and right before it gets to -2, it's going to drop back down. Are y'all okay? You see how I'm just copying the graph? Okay, now watch this one. You ready? This one's going to do the same thing. It's going to ride right along this vertical asymptote. Then it's going to curve down at that only point that we could do. Okay, right here at 2. You ready? It's going to hit right there at 2. It's got a hole. You don't want to step in a hole, right? Because you're going to twist your ankle or break your ankle. So you're going to jump right over that hole on the other side. It's going to ride right along. So that's it. Are y'all okay? Not too bad, right? A little different, but not too bad. Okay, let's do 2 more, and then we're done for the day. We'll do our checkpoints, and we'll review anything from yesterday. All right, what about number 3? What do you notice? Take out the X on the bottom, you said? Okay. Ooh, this is a perfect ACT question right here. Number 3, they love to put these kind of on the ACT. Bottom is the difference of 2 squares, yep. But before that, these x's cancel out because I'm no longer adding and subtracting between those. I'm multiplying. So I have a 4 left on the top, And Scotty told us we had the difference of two squares on the bottom. So it's x plus 2, x minus 2. All right, here's the deal. You ready? What canceled? The x's. If I were to set x equal to 0, it's just x equals 0, right? So where's my whole at? 0. X equals 0, right? Which is the same as the, where? Origin. So right here at the origin, you got a big old gaping hole that we don't want to step in, okay? That's at x equals 0. All right, what about our vertical? That one's easy. Vertical asymptotes are easy. Plus and minus 2. Very good. How'd you get that? It's where the bottom equals 0. Brinkley, you are on fire today. Okay, so there's x equals negative 2. There's x equals positive 2. All right, what else do we know? Look back at the beginning. Where was that biggest exponent at? On the bottom. And what happens when you have the biggest exponent on the bottom? Y equals 0. Very good. Which is the same as the x-axis. But make sure you skip over that hole, okay? Okay. So for me, the easiest way would be to just go back to the beginning. 4x divided by, open your parentheses, x cubed minus 4x, close your parentheses. Y'all okay? Okay. And then you hit graph, but I'm going to leave mine there for a second for anybody that needs it. Hit graph. All right, you see it? Right here at negative 2, looks like there's a line right there that it rides along. Right there at positive 2, it rides along the line. And right there at the x-axis, it doesn't go above or below that. And the whole really doesn't matter to us, right, in this case? Okay, so here we go. Do we have anything we can graph? Go to your table. Oh, no, not really. There's a whole bunch of nothingness in there. A whole bunch of decimals. Here we go. So it rides right along. Negative 2, curves down. Then on the middle section, it's like an upside down U. I'm just getting all this from my graph, okay? And the other side, it rides right along. Positive 2, curves down, doesn't go below 0. Just like that. Are y'all okay? Yeah? No? Okay, all right, last one. Here we go. Last one. All right, here we go. What do you notice? There you go. Take out the x. That'd be x plus 3 over x plus 3. Holy moly, what are we left with? Okay, since it cancels, that's my whole, right? So I have a whole where? Negative 2. Negative 3. I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong thing. Negative 3. Huh? No. But because it does cancel out, but you still got to have all this extra stuff in there because originally this was your graph, so it's going to have some stuff in there. Where it cancels. Wherever it cancels, if I were to set x plus 3 equal to 0, that would give me negative 3. So since it canceled, that's a whole. And if I were to set it equal to 0, it would give me negative 3. All right, and then let's see. What do we know? We know we don't have any vertical asymptotes, right? Why? Because there's nothing on the bottom, right? Okay, what about horizontal? Nope. I don't know why I just write that. We don't have any either, right? Why do we? Because the biggest one's on the top. And if you look at your little boxes that I gave you on Monday, if the biggest degree is on the top, there is no horizontal asymptote. Okay? So all we have is a whole at x equals negative 3. So here we go. Just to make sure that we're okay, go to y equals and plug in your original one. Okay, let's plug in our original one. Make sure you use parentheses around your numerator. Come on, guys. Make sure you're plugging this in. Be with us. Come on. We got 2 weeks left. Less than 2 weeks. Y'all realize that? Next Thursday is the end of the quarter. Y'all realize that?
That's crazy.
Already. already. Goodness gracious. A good and a bad thing. It's a bad thing if you don't have your ducks in a row yet, right? It's a good thing if you got your ducks in a row and we're almost done. All right, let's hit graph. And what kind of graph should you be seeing? The straight horizontal line, which is the parent graph because it doesn't move up and down any. But the only thing that we know is that where x equals -3, what is happening there? There's a hole. All right, so let's go to our table. If you need to. Some of you don't even need to. And looky there. You see it -3? See how it has an error? Right? Okay, so let's see. We know we have 0, 0. We have 1, 1. Because we have a slope of 1, right? But right here at x equals 3, there is a hole. Oh, is it negative? Oh, crap, it is. Dang. Pretend like I didn't do that. Thank you, thank you.
I thought it was only on the X.
Huh?
I thought it was only on the X.
It is. Follow that up. What's that x value? Ah.
The idea was only on the X axis.
No. Your x value of -3. So on the other ones, since they weren't straight lines, it was just on the x-axis. But this one's a little different. All right, so let's connect it, but we are not going to go through that hole. You don't step in a hole, right? You're going to break your ankle if you do that. So you go right to that hole, and you skip over it, and you go to the other side. Y'all okay? Kitty got it good? All right, here we go. Here's what we're going to do. Sophomores, first of all. Actually, no, juniors first of all. Juniors. Monday, if you are a junior and a rising senior, Monday at 6 p.m. in the auditorium is a parent meeting for you. There's going to be a lot of college recruiters there, so they're going to have a lot of information about scholarships, a lot of information about how to apply. So make sure that if you have taken the ACT, that you have all of your information about the scores that you've made. Make sure you have that with you. If you haven't taken the ACT, the deadline is Friday to take the April one, okay? Which juniors, I really wouldn't sign up for that if I were you, because you're going to take it for free at school, okay? 6 p.m. in the auditorium. Also, juniors, on Monday during third period is your registration meeting with the counselors, okay? So starting Monday, juniors will need to bring your registration packets to me so I can sign off on what classes you need to take next year. Sophomores, if you have your registration packet, some of you came in this morning, so if you have gotten your registration packet, please get that out, and we're going to bring that to me. Checkpoints. I think a lot of you, for some reason, turned your checkpoints into the tray. I'm hoping that's because that you checked them with Miss Forbes yesterday. If not, I'm going to hand those back to you. So if you didn't turn them in, you should be working on your checkpoints. If you have questions on the review from yesterday, you need to get those out. We can go over those. So we got a lot of different things we can be doing, okay? Yes, hurry.